Hey, how y'all doing? This your boy D.O.L.O, the microphone pro from Atlanta, Georgia. You already know I'm tapped in with TampaMystic and the industry's most wanted podcast. Let's go.
And we doing our thing for real. We pop out, show these niggas song like, look, I move with amazing skill. That cut these niggas lame for real. Them numbers ain't looking right, we send them back. Like, look, you gon' change the deal. Yeah, infamous running shit, cannot let them forget, boy, we don't play in the field. For real, for real.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast. Listen, I got one of my personal homies in the building. Somebody I've known for a hot little minute. You know what I'm saying? This ain't our first rodeo, as they say.
Sure.
D.O.L.O, you know what I'm saying? In the building. What's going on with you, family? Give me some love. Boom. It's good to see you always.
Man, just living. You know what I mean? It's good to see you as well. It's been a minute. Last time I seen you it was your birthday.
Yeah, it's been a little minute.
So I've been just working, man. Dropped the album, working on some film stuff, and trying to keep the business going. EFMG and all the stuff that fall under that umbrella. So
yeah.
It's been a long year.
Listen, life be lifing, as we were talking about, without even getting into too much about it. But, I just want to give your flowers real quick. Is that cool?
Appreciate you.
I've been doing this for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? A very, very long time. And you are absolutely one of the artists, like, how you're structured, your professionalism, your humbleness. You're the type of artist that I wish I could work with all the time. I'm so serious. Yeah, because you're about your business. You know what I'm saying? You're just a good person. So I just want to give you your flowers before we start. Absolutely, man. But I know you got a lot going on, bro. Go ahead and give us like that full breakdown of everything you got going on.
Man, so let's see, 2023. So at the end of last year, I was letting people know like the album's on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like letting them know the album is coming and I'm almost done structuring all the records and, linking with all the producers and going over it with the team to make sure that it's like a solid project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't want it to just be like one little fly by night, mixtape type feel. No, when you listen to this, I wanted it to be like, okay, this is like a real like meaty project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I was working on for majority of the year. And then coming close to the end of 2022, going into 23, it was like finished. I was done all the recording. I had found all the beats and, I had everything together. I just didn't have the track list yet.
Right.
So I kind of, I couldn't really figure it out. So I just kind of sat it down and I went into one of my other passions, which is the camera. Yeah, I've been like, I had a camera in my hand as far as like video being like a videographer, I guess. Yeah. Since like 2013.
Okay.
But kind of on the low, you know what I mean?
Understood.
I never had like an actual camera, you know what I'm saying? It was always like maybe on the cell phone or a little digital picture camera or whatever, you know what I mean? But I've always felt I had an eye for it.
Right, absolutely. So you know what your gifts are.
Yeah, so it's like, it's time to tap into the you did your album you said you was gonna do.
Yeah.
Let's try and see if we can stretch into other fields and chase them other passions. So this year, I've been mainly focused on all camera work.
Yeah.
And building up Infamous Films. And so Infamous Films is, another entity under the EFMG umbrella. And I just been out there shooting pictures, recaps. I ended up shooting a wedding. Like,
wow.
I did a lot this year as far as the camera work.
We might need to work on some stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. Whenever, I'll pull up, we can put it together.
Absolutely. Like we were talking before we started, like I desired to do some bigger stuff. And with that being said, I need a team. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we could talk, off camera a little bit about getting on camera, if that makes sense. Absolutely. Most definitely. So, tell us about the movement, EFMG.
EFMG, Infamous Familiar Music Group. We are a record label that has been, here in the city going full force mainstream since 2013. I say that's when Aim for the Head. He dropped his shout out my boy Aim. He was going strong doing his performances and getting his projects out. and he was kind of the forerunner for a minute.
Yeah.
And then of course we had the studio going. We had the studio going before that, where we was working with different artists, having people come in, you know, helping sounds and getting records put out. But far as like the label itself and main artists, it was AIM, and coming up to like 2018, I say 2018 going into the 2020s, that's when we was like, all right, we gonna do the full run and gun, you know, AIM drop beat it for the block. And, you know, I was working on Move Differently, and we was like, all right, we gonna really be outside and really push the front side of the label to let people know, like, EFMG heavy. You know,
for real.
Everybody know us in the background.
Right.
We're working with people and stuff like that, but y'all need to know, like, this is like a serious record label.
You ain't playing
like,
around.
You know what I mean? Like, we really doing legit business when it comes to music. So, you know, we got into certain rooms and we spoke with certain people, and we met with a lot of folks we felt like could help push us into that light.
Yeah.
You know, and so now we here, it's 2023, which is 10 years later. We basically celebrating our 10-year anniversary. The concert is still coming. Yeah, we supposed to do an anniversary concert, but we had some, you know, stuff going on with venues and stuff like that. But we still looking for the spot to do it, and we're going to do it probably top of the year to celebrate our 10-year anniversary of us being a label.
Congratulations. That's a big deal, man, because a lot of people in this business come and go quickly because they don't want to work.
Right.
What it really boils down to.
Right.
People want the success, but they don't want to put the work in to get that success. They want that overnight stuff, and it don't work like that. So congratulations for 10 years of consistency behind putting, you know, from starting a label till now. What would you say, you know, a lot of artists, and this is going to be for some of these artists out there who aspire to start their own label, and I encourage every artist to start your own independent label.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give them, you know, with you know, starting their own label situation?
It has to start first with a solid team who has the same vision. Without DJ Jai-Eazy, without Big E, who is one of our founders who passed.
Yeah.
Without AIM, without me, and the whole, you know, White House family, because that's where it originally started. Without all of that, and them knowing that we were talented and that we were, you know, not just some kids who just wanted to make noise in the house.
Yeah.
It takes that to push things to a level of where, like, okay, this can be like some legit stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so without, that's like the foundation. You got to have a solid team, and then you got to have a vision that goes past of, you know, just the normal, like, oh, we want to have money, we want to put out songs, and we want to have fly clothes.
Right.
No, you got to really like think of it as, even though you're an independent label, think of it as a major label.
There you go.
What would a major label do in this situation? Like, would we go and give such and such, who we just brought on to the team, all this money when we don't even know, like, how they handle money, or how they, you know, what's their recording process, or, you know, who they're around, and you know what I mean? So it's like, you have to really think of yourself as a major label to protect your brand.
Yeah.
Because everything that I feel like we've done that led us down this path is like just basically protecting our brand of EFMG, you know, and that's what keep us going every day. Like, we got to keep doing this to let the legacy live on. You know what I mean? E started this. He started the name. It's his initials, EFMG. You know what I mean? And so when he passed, it's kind of like, it put an extra battery in my back to be like, we can't let it go down. You know what I mean? We got to keep it going, keep working, and keep making sure that, like, this is something that we can pass down to our families if they want to be in the music business, or if not, it's something that they could always stand on to know that, like, hey, our dads and uncles, and, you know, they was really legitly in the music business doing some good stuff, and wasn't just, you know, out there just to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, and when you lose people close to you like that, whether it be family or friends or something like that, man, like, it gives us more of a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just about, it's never really always about us, because it's bigger than us, right? But it gives us more of a purpose, you know. And with that being said, while I'm on that subject, let me ask you this, because otherwise I may forget to ask you.
That's good.
What is your purpose with this music?
My purpose has always been to just get off my creativity at the bottom, at the very, very bottom of it. Like, I always, of course, I'm gonna have my own cockiness or however you want to say it, like braggadocious, like I'm the best. You know what I mean? Everybody
confidence.
Confidence. There we go. It's of course I'm gonna have that, but at the bottom of it, I always had the feeling like I don't care if nobody like it or not. Like, I got to get this out because like throughout the whole album process, I was like, if I didn't record, I would just feel backed up. I didn't know what would be wrong with me. I have like a little irritation, and then I go through my stuff where I self-assess, and I'd be like, I haven't recorded in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't recorded in a week. I ain't been in the studio. Like, that's what's going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, with the music, it's more so of I got to get this off.
Yeah.
And then once I get past that level, it's like, all right, I got to get this off, but it got to be quality.
Yeah.
And it got to be quality, but it got to stand out from the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I try and hit all those notes when it goes to me putting music out and doing music. You know what I mean? So.
Absolutely. Taking it back, let's go back to your childhood. Where did you grow up in the Atlanta area?
Yeah. I grew up on the east side, Decatur, Georgia, Glenwood Road. Like,
Decatur was greater?
Yes. Like, that's where I'm from. Originally, I was born in Georgia Baptist Hospital.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm a serious, I don't like to tell, I tell people I'm a Georgia boy.
Yeah.
Because, like, I literally have been in every corner of Georgia. Like, I know my way around the whole state. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, I'm from the east side, but I'm a true to life Georgia boy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I grew up here. I seen how everything changed, how, you know, it was slow paced to moving all the way up to what it is now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that had a lot of influence on, you know, how I look at things as far as like the music and business and just the world outlook, you know.
Absolutely, because Atlanta is it's an entertainment city, film, music. You know, it's a great city for entrepreneurship. That's why I moved here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Atlanta. I love you guys. Love this city. What's the most positive change that you've seen in Atlanta? Not even necessarily with music, just Atlanta as a whole throughout your life.
Let's see. Atlanta as a whole, I would say how welcoming it is. Like, you know, I would remember back in the time where it used to, I could legitly walk around and just know, like, okay, all these people from Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, or like, you know, it just, I don't know, it was different. It just felt like everybody was from here. And maybe if I didn't know, it just looked that way.
Understood.
You know, but now it's like Georgia became so much of a welcoming melting pot.
I was not thinking that.
Yeah, that it's like, it's just amazing to see because it felt still, you know, slow country like.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't, you know, it was hot Atlanta and, you know, stuff was going on here, but like now it's just completely different, and it's so cool to see how everyone is embracing where I'm from. You know what I mean? And it used to be kind of like not looked down upon, but everybody wasn't really trying to like hang in the South and stuff like that. So now for it to be a spot where like people can come through and want to pass through and see, like, it's crazy. Like, I can't still really get the grips of it because it would be times where I'm young and 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, there's nobody on the highway, nobody on the roads. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I remember growing up. And like, now I go downtown and it's like, it's kind of like almost, I've been in New York, not too many times, maybe a couple times, but you know, when it's always somebody walking around 24/7. And like downtown didn't used to be like that. You go downtown 12 o'clock, it's silent. Like there's very little going on, you know, but now it's like I always see like they look like tourists. they just walking around, like it just looks like a mini New York to me. You know what I mean? In the city. And for it to be so buzzing, it's like, it's crazy.
Absolutely. Atlanta has become like its own Mecca. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, it's definitely one of those cities that's on top, you know? And like you said, Atlanta's always been well respected and people's always loved it. But I think now more than ever, because coming to this city presents a lot of opportunities, allows people to create new businesses and new, you know, entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So that's why I think it's thriving so much with the music industry as well, for sure. did you ever desire to do anything before music? Were you into sports, or was there something else before music that you thought was going to be your path in life?
That's tough because I've literally been rapping like for a very long time. Like, and it's like when I was in elementary, I think I just always had an affinity for words.
Yeah.
Because, like, I used to write stories. I used to write poems. I was big on reading. My aunt made sure that, like, I knew education was, like, behind my mom. My aunt came in and was like, hey, education.
Yeah.
And my mom, she was, like, heavy on that, the reading and writing and stuff like that. So with those two kind of, like, pushing it, I feel like my affinity for words just grew and grew. And so, like, I've been rapping for so long. I mean, I used to be in middle school in the back of the bus freestyling against high schoolers, you know what I mean, in middle school, and then I'm getting them to be like, oh. So, you know, it's like I think through those moments, it just led me to feel like I'm supposed to do music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I just stayed with it, like stayed freestyling and working on my skill. And then I remember the first time I actually like heard my voice played back on like a recording, and this had to be like 8th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade summer. I had 2 radios back to back. And like I recorded it on tape.
Yeah.
And cause it had a mic on it. So it's like I recorded it with the beat playing in the background, and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean?
Doing something here.
Like, okay, I can finally try and like get something recorded. And so I think from that moment, maybe not even like by the end of the summer, by this time I was in like Conley, Georgia. So I had moved to kind of like southeast, you know, my mom had got a new house, and we had in the neighborhood, it was a couple of it was some dudes I used to hang with, and then they used to go to this house to record. And they was like, they knew I rap because like I was still by that time freestyling wherever I went, you know what I mean, just rapping. So everybody know I rap, but it was like, hey man, come to the studio. You know, Blue got a little studio down here, and it was this super old computer with a mic, you know, the whole old school setup.
Yeah.
But the fact that we was able to actually get in there and record, we probably recorded like a 6-minute song, everybody jumping in and out, you know what I mean? But the fact that I actually had something that I could say I recorded through a microphone and a DAW system, you know what I mean? It was
some
like,
legitimate stuff.
I was like, at that point, I had kind of got addicted. So it was like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do. Got to keep working on music. I got to figure out how I can record myself, get my own, like, and it just took off from there because I moved from Conley, and then I moved to Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
And that's when I linked up with AIM and E and DJ Jai-Eazy.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history.
History in the making.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If you hadn't grew up like in the Atlanta area or just Georgia, period, do you think you still would have done music?
That's tough because, you know, we all products of our environment.
Right.
So just depending, if I wouldn't have done music, I probably would be writing.
Okay.
Like books or.
Okay. Like an author. Yeah.
I would probably be doing that just because my mom and auntie were so heavy on it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Shout out to the ladies in your life too.
Yeah. Shout out to moms and my aunt. If they weren't, you know, so heavy on that, I don't know what else, because I'm trying to think back on what else my passions were. It was always more so on the creative side, like coloring something or painting, or I had a stitch at designing clothes, which is still gonna come on the way. But
sure.
I'm more so into business now that I'm trying to get to that delegation point of business. You know what I mean? So it's like I still got all my business ideas I want to do that I had, you know, prospects for, but I'm so much of a businessman now that it's like, all right, I know I can't do everything. Right. So it's like, in order to bring those passions back up, I think, you know, I just got to delegate appropriately. But I feel like I would probably be, you know, either writing or doing something in like sales.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Most definitely. And I always like to ask that question because, you know, I feel like you said, we're a product of our environment, you know what I'm saying? And where we grew up, whether it be something that takes place in the household, like my uncle, he plays damn near every instrument. My dad's a music head. So it's like being around that growing up, I think is what developed my passion for what I do now in the music industry. I think that's really dope. So let's talk about, when you first started releasing music, right? Take us back. How long has that been since you started putting music on the digital platforms?
2013.
So 10 years now.
Yeah, 2013. My first project I released was Dinner Time.
Okay.
Dinner Time.
Dinner Time.
Called Dinner Time.
Dinner Time.
Yeah, Dinner Time. And then I had a sequel to it, Dinner Time 2. And so like that whole process really helped me see like, okay, how I'm going to transition this into professional music. Because Dinner Time was basically, I came up with the idea. It was a Jacking for Beats project. Which
is a great way to start out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like, what everyone was doing around then. And then I kind of wanted to get, people's attention because I'm like rapping over, popular beats, which was the process of that. But it was like, yeah, I feel like I have an ear for executive producing. Yeah. So like putting tracks back to back that sound good, you know what I mean? So I would take the tracks that people know or may not know, but together it sounds like, oh, this is what happened to the original song. You know what I'm saying? So with Dinner Time, I recorded that whole thing on my MacBook.
Okay.
Recorded on my MacBook and was trying to learn the process of mixing and how to make my voice sound good, or all the prospects of engineering basically. And then I started, it's like I learned along the way. I'm like, all right, I need more stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like after Dinner Time 1 was done, it was out for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, following year I'm gonna come with Dinner Time 2. Yeah. But at this time, I got a mic. You know what I'm saying? I got a real mic. I still have my laptop, but the sound quality is better. I would go into I was in Valdosta State at the time.
Okay.
And they had like a what you call, it's kind of like a sound room. Yeah. Like, I guess for people who wanted to record, because they probably had mics in there. I didn't know. But it was just
a sound treated type
it was
sound.
like a sound treated room. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to just bring my mic and my laptop in here and record in here. And so the outcome was a little bit better than Dinner Time 1. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, you can hear the difference, the progression if you go through all the projects. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm learning, you know what I mean? Because at this time, I'm way in South Georgia. I'm away from my boys. So I couldn't really get that hands-on, learning that I used to get from Ja in the studio, because I would sit in the studio for hours and just listen to Ja mix and DJ and record people in sessions in and out. That's all I used to do. So when I went to college and was on my own, it was kind of like, I can help you, bro, but I'm not coming down there. You know what I mean? So it's like he would just tell me through the phone what I would need to do or what I would need to get, and I would just take it from there. And so Dinner Time 1, Dinner Time 2, and then I put what did I release after that? I can't remember.
We're going down memory lane right now.
That's tough. I released dang, did I not release anything after that?
He did. He just can't think of it right now.
I can't. Because I'm just thinking about the recent stuff. Like my last EP was On the Run. I think I just released songs.
Well, let me ask you this. Yeah. So you did these projects that were, like you said, jacking for beats. And I love when artists do that. I think it's a great starting point, right? Out of all the other people's beats that you rapped on, which one was your favorite beat to rap on?
I would say Rihanna Skin. And
you challenge yourself. I like that.
Yeah. That was my thing. I tried to do
that's different.
Yeah, Rihanna Skin was a fun beat to do. If y'all ever got time, go check that out. It sounded a little, but the vocal, the verses are fire. Yeah. What else? What was that song with? I think it was Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz. Look at me. Now look at
yeah. That was a great record. Yeah. So that
I did one. I did a cover on that one. That was one of my favorites. And it was one more. I think I did a Future song. What was that song Future had? Was it Karate Chop?
Oh, okay, yeah, Karate Chop, yeah.
I think those were probably my favorite 3 beats to do. Dinner Time 2 had some heat on it too. I just can't remember the beats right now.
It's okay.
Because I got a favorite on there too that's like a beat that I don't think nobody really think of.
Yeah.
But then when you hear it, you're like,
oh yeah, shoot, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I think, but those are my top 3.
Well, let me ask you this. Out of all your own personal records that you put out, right? All the songs that you've written and recorded for yourself, which one is the most personal for you?
The most personal?
Yeah.
I would have to say the last song on my album, On and On.
Tell us why it's personal for you.
It's personal because it's like I kind of challenged myself to like figure out how to give my story within a song that's like, it's strictly for my story though. It's not like you know how people would tell their story, it's kind of like mixed in with other stuff. This was like On and On was like really a song that I just laid out, you know, how I felt about, you know, how stuff came to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's called The Grind. The song is called On and On, but it'd be like the grind don't stop. It just go on and on. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like 10 years.
That's a long time. No, that's a decade,
bro.
You
know what I'm saying? That's not nothing light. So it's like, you can't stop though.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Especially when it's your passion and it's something that you feel like you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
And you're elevating and, you know, you get to a point where you start helping other people within your passion. So it's like, the grind don't stop. You can't, you know, no matter what happens throughout your life, like I talked about how my mom had cancer and how you know we moved everywhere and you know just different points, and it's just like despite all of that, the grind don't stop.
No, for real,
it still goes on and on. Like even when we pass and we leave here, people still gonna be trying to grind, and either if they're that in tune with your mission, it can be people that carry your mission on, or you know, or they just take your inspiration and they grind and go on their own mission. Hey, I keep hitting the movement.
No, you good. You good. No, you are absolutely right though.
That's I would say that would be my most personal record. You know what I mean? For all of the stuff that I put out, because I think that's really like the only one where I got like deep like that.
Yeah. Most definitely. What is your creative process like? And what I mean by that is, do you actually physically sit down and write your songs? Do you freestyle them? Do you type it in on your phone? How does that part come together?
So I have it's sort of like, with me, I sit, it's like I go through creative cycles. Because it's like I feel like I do so much that I try not to leave nothing behind. So it's like I'll pick up something and then put it back down, and then I'll be like, okay, now it's time for music. Now it's time for designing. Now it's time for, you know what I mean? So when I come back into my music creative cycle, I'll listen to beats and then just go through them. And then like maybe whatever is happening in my life, I try and get some inspiration.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like really into, if I like try and push, like I know it's time to create, but I don't feel it there yet, then I'll just make time for it and be like, all right, we got to write some songs today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I'll sit down and go to my little notepad and start like writing and try and get ideas, and then it'll just start coming about because I've dedicated that time to creating. You know what I mean? So it's like I could either go that route, or if I'm just in the studio and I'm around the energy and the vibe, then it's like, all right, something's going to come. You know what I mean? Like,
you just kind of freestyle it.
Yeah, it's time for it. It's like it's freestyle, and then I'll jot it down. Majority of the times, I like if I'm on the go, I write stuff in my phone. But like I said, if I'm at home, I'll jot it on my pad. Yeah. Or I'll try and like, it'll be sometimes where I'm just like maybe driving or like just doing another task, and then I'll come up with something and I'll be like, dang, I need to remember that. You know what I mean? Like a melody,
Yeah.
or like a catch, or like I'll just say some bars that I feel like was hard. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that was hard. You gotta remember that. You know what I mean? Majority of the time it never happened, but like sometimes it do, because like my mind will be like, yeah, remember this? And then I was like, okay, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? That's kind of how like Move Differently came about.
Okay.
Because I was listening to beats and I was like, I think I had already wrote the song, and I didn't. I had the chorus. That's what it was. I had the chorus wrote down, but I didn't have the verses yet.
Yeah.
And so I was still looking through beats, and then I finally found the beat. I was like, oh,
That's the
this the
one.
one. You know what I mean? And so it helped me write out the rest of the song. So it's like sometimes I'll come up with hooks and stuff and just sit them down and cycle back to them, and or sometimes I might write out a whole song. I've done that. Like how Nat G was saying,
Yeah.
write out a whole song and then try and put a beat to it later. You know what I mean? I've done that before. So it's all about, I feel like, creating that space to create.
Absolutely. And I think by you having like different styles of creative process keeps it interesting and keeps you in tune and keeps you loving the process of it.
Right.
Because I feel like if we do the same thing all the time, it becomes a little redundant and we can get bored with it. So it's important that you kind of switch it up. So sometimes you might actually write, sometimes you might freestyle. Like you said, you might be riding in the car and come up with your ideas. So I think that's important for you to keep that passion alive with what you're doing.
Right.
You're a father, right?
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
2.
2. What are their ages, if you don't mind me asking?
9 and 8 years old.
Okay.
They're kind of like, they're Irish twins because they were born, what's crazy is my birthday is July 31st and they were born 13 months and 7 days apart.
Oh,
wow.
So it's like my birthday backwards. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I always say they were kind of like meant to be here.
Yeah.
But that's a whole another journey. Like, they're amazing. They're very intelligent. They go to a performing arts school, so they do a lot of performing in the house. Always somebody singing
amazing.
or being dramatic, or like acting out something, or they want to put on a play or a show. So it's like it's good to see that they already have that creative spark at such a young age.
Love it.
You know what I mean? So. Yeah, shout out to Chrissy and Deuce.
Yeah, I think it's so important that we as parents, we have to get our kids involved in something. Figure out what they enjoy doing. Like, don't force them to do something that they don't want to do because they're not going to excel with it. It sounds like that they have a lot of what's in you. You know what I'm saying? Performing and stuff like that. Let me ask you this. You said your oldest is 9, right? 9 years ago, how did your life change when you became a father?
So 9 years ago, I was about to go. I think I had took a year when I graduated, I had took a year off, or not even a year, a semester off before I went to school.
Yeah.
And then I went to school, and then I found out I was going to have a baby, so I kind of had to like stop again and get a job, get a car, like a bigger car. I had to get a truck actually because I knew I was like, dang, I'm gonna have a kid, car seat, and all this stuff. So I got a truck, and I was working. Like, you know what I mean? I was really trying to figure out how am I still gonna do all the stuff I've been doing without letting a child affect it. Because it's like, we have kids, but that don't mean we still not, people who have aspirations and dreams and goals. And I always had this thing where it's like, you don't want your kid to be looking at like a square parent. Like, only thing you see them do is go to work and come home.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to see your parents do cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wanted to still make sure I still kept my steam, you know what I mean, of things that I was doing. Was it hard? Definitely so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting to have another one right behind it. But, you take that time and just, learn how to be even more responsible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to their mom for, you know, all the stuff that you know, we like help orchestrate to make sure that they were, you know, a whole family unit. You know what I mean?
That's important.
And that they really understood that, like, you know, we're gonna have each other back forever.
I love it.
So my life changed definitely for the better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I wanted to have kids. And what's crazy is I always said when I do have kids, I wanted to have a girl first. And I end up having a girl first.
Look at
you
that.
Know what I mean?
You got to ask and you shall receive.
Man, it was just a wild time. But I'm definitely appreciative for them because, you know, they humbled me a lot.
Yeah.
I seen at the time that I was moving fast. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was doing anything crazy, but it was just like I was on a fast track to getting everything that I wanted to get. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted a job, I wanted a car. I wanted to, you know, have all my own stuff going. But it was like, nah, once that kid comes into play, it's like, now you got to split everything, your attention, your money, your time, to make sure that that responsibility is taken care of. So it's like I just grew up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know?
Trust me, I understand. I had my son at 19, so I had to grow up quick. I was like, yo, you know.
Yeah.
So you have an 8 and a 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
What would you go back and tell your 8 or 9-year-old self right now if you could?
My 8 or 9-year-old self. So I'm trying to think. What grade is 8 and 9?
That's I want to say
third grade. Yeah,
third, fourth grade. Yeah, something like that.
Third or fourth grade. What was I doing? I was I was bad, Tampa. Like, you know what I had a big problem with when I was younger? I was and I think it was just because I was impatient. I'm still a little impatient. I used to steal a lot. Like, you know what I mean?
You
Like,
little thief.
Yeah, I used to steal, and
I think we all did though.
Yeah.
Some more than others, but shoot, I remember stealing from the little store by my house.
See,
we used to steal candy out of there
all the time. Candy, like I was bad with it though. Like, so I would tell myself like, dig deeper into like what you feel you like the most.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Stay on your schoolwork, and just continue to, you know, whatever you like to do at that time, dig more and spend more time doing it. You know what I mean? Like if you like to paint, or if you feel like you like to write or color or whatever you like to do, just spend more time doing it and trying, you know, take appreciation for knowledge.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The more knowledge you have is like the further you'll go. So I always felt that that is an important thing. And that's what I be trying to tell them. But but with it being so much of a different time that I see, I try and tell them more of, which I felt like, I don't know if I have to ask my mom, but like controlling of emotions is like a bigger thing. I'll probably tell myself that too, because if I was able to like control because I used to steal for dumb reasons. So it was like, if I probably had a better control of my emotions and knew to be more patient or feel like you didn't need to have this at that point in time, then, you know, that would be an aspect that I would probably tell myself. Control your emotions.
Absolutely. But you know what? That's actually a really great piece of advice to give our adult self too, because a lot of people act on emotion.
Tell me about it.
And that can land people in some really bad situations. I tell people all the time, learn to be proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah.
When people are reactive, that's when they jump the gun and, no pun intended, but they pull out guns and shoot people rather than thinking about how could this moment change my entire life. It could take my life, take someone else's life. So that's something, I love that you said that, because that's something that we can absolutely apply into our adulthood as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what you said too about like really sticking with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try something and because it doesn't work the first time, flush it down the toilet. No, keep at it if it's something that's a passion. So thank you for sharing that, because I think it's something we can definitely apply in our adulthood, and we need to hear that sometimes.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, a lot of people go off just their first thought emotions.
Pure emotion.
thinking it through. Like, it's stages. You got the emotion. All right, now let's think through the emotion. Why you feel that way, or how did you get to feel that way?
Yeah.
Or why, if I feel that way, does this happen often?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like you can either learn to change that or just control it. Because some people are who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but if you learn, everybody I feel like can learn to control.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody should have a certain amount of control, because if you lose that control, that's when all those bad things start to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, control your emotions, people.
But they have to want to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely. Gotta want to do it. Because if not, then it's just like you a loose cannon out here.
Absolutely.
And the world is crazy.
World is cray. Big cray. That's why a lot of people right now have anxiety. Mm-hmm. I get anxiety just sitting in traffic because it's people will run you over and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're wrapping up 2023, bro. What's been your biggest accomplishment this year? Whether it's life's happenings or music, what's your biggest accomplishment? Think back.
My biggest accomplishment for this year, I would say, is actually sticking to what I said. Because I said I was at the top of the year, I said I was going to take the year off and really work on this film thing, this camera thing.
Yeah.
And it got rough where I was like, man, I don't know. Like, it ain't looking so promising, you know what I mean? But every time I felt like I got like that, around the corner something better happened, and I was like, all right, cool, we can stick it out, you know, maybe a couple more months or a couple more weeks, and or at least till I get down again. But I'm like, you know what, when I look back over the year, it wasn't that bad. Like, I traveled the whole year with like very little money, you know what I mean? Like, I've been to Rhode Island, Chicago, I went to St. Louis, I went to Florida like 2 times. So New York, and some of the this was my first time in a couple of these places.
That's nice.
You know what I mean? So it's like the people that I met and the actual connections I made and the skill that I gained, like, I feel like that would be my biggest accomplishment for the year. And the album. Yeah. Because I really wanted to get that out too. I didn't want to like not do what I said I was going to do to myself. Because last year I had an interview and I was like, it's going to drop 2023, into 2023. And I made sure I got everything together so it could drop 2023. You know, we still got a lot of stuff to do. I was supposed to bring you a box, my promo box. That's still next time I come, I'm gonna have that for you. But
that's a reason why you got to come back again.
We working on that. And the physical drop, like, for that. Everybody got the streaming, but we gonna do like a physical. I
love that.
You know, hard copy to pass out. So
take it back to the basics, man.
We got a lot of stuff on the way, but you know that it's like I said, it's been a long year, and the fact that I made it is accomplishment as well. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't make it to the end of the year.
Bruh, that's a fact right there. That alone is an accomplishment. Mm-hmm. And I had the opportunity to check out the album. I made sure I listened to it.
Appreciate
Great project. I told you what my faves were on. I think it's 1 and 5 were my favorite tracks on there. Gotcha. For people who haven't had the opportunity to hear it, tell them the title of it. You know, obviously it's probably streaming everywhere, and physical copies are coming soon. Tell them the title of the project.
Yeah, the title of the project is self-titled D.O.L.O, dedicated on life's objective. If you didn't know, that's what my name stands for. It is an acronym, dedicated on life's objective. That's what I chose to go self-titled with it because I felt like, all right, for my first album, I'm going to let everybody get all of my styles, you know, or at least a little sample of like, oh, he can go here, he can go there, he can do this, that, and third. So I wanted to, you know, make sure I got that out. And then now, like, my follow-ups and stuff is going to be me, like, having fun and tapping into different, like, doing some features. Like, because I didn't really have any. I had, like, 2 features on there. I had AIM and I had my boy Woody Woo, you know, and he just did a little singing background. You know what I'm saying? So I count him as a feature, but, like, you know, Woo gets down. So that's, like, a little tidbit. So after that, I'm going to, you know, start dabbling a little bit. But now that the main, like, project, the main album is out, the meat of D.O.L.O. Yeah, you know, I can start having a little fun. But y'all gotta go check that out.
I love it.
Gotta go check it out. 16 tracks, you can run it back to back. Even if you ain't listening to it, it could be background music, because I feel like the instrumentation just goes together so well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, y'all check that out, man. It's out everywhere. EFMG, D.O.L.O. Let's go.
What's 2 things on your bucket list for 2024, man, if you don't mind sharing? Give us 2.
2024, let's see. I wanna I really want to get more camera gear.
Okay.
Because I ain't even tell you I did a lot this year. Like, in retrospect, I've been producing this show with my boy DJ Designer Kid. We got like it's kind of like a revamp of 106 in Park.
Dope.
It's like we doing a top 10 countdown. So
I love it.
We've been shooting that the whole year. We got like 2 seasons recorded, and we're gonna start dropping it.
What's the name of
soon. Network and Chill.
Network and Chill.
Network and
That's
Chill.
dope.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring you on there.
Yes.
We're gonna bring you on there. And just what was that, last week? Last week, I basically started executive producing my second show.
Congratulations.
According to the streets, we doing the podcast. Aim is doing his podcast, working on that.
Dope.
And he told me to tell you we gonna bring you on there.
Yes, that's so dope.
Yeah, I got like basically 2 shows underneath my belt, and so it's like I really want to dive deeper into the camera gear and get like my stuff up so I can have an easier workflow, basically.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to do that, and I want to go overseas. Like, I've been doing a lot of domestic traveling for the past like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I really want to just like go
take it abroad.
Yeah, I want to go abroad somewhere just to, you know, take it in and take a super long plane flight to land somewhere and stay for maybe like 3 weeks.
That would be amazing.
Month, you know what I mean? So,
anywhere in particular?
What's been funny is I've been telling my family I'm gonna run. I'm like, man, I'm gonna run away. I'm going to South America.
Yeah,
because they get, you know, irritated sometimes, which is, you know, it's just family stuff. But
of course,
I be like teasing them like, hey, I'm gonna run away to South America. So I think I want to go like down there somewhere.
Absolutely.
You know, find I don't know. I haven't picked a particular country yet.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's been calling out to me.
There you go.
You know, so it's like, all right, God's saying South America. We just got to figure out what's the best place to go.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, those things will absolutely happen for you because I believe in manifestation. Mm-hmm. I'm really big on that. We have to manifest whatever it is that our heart desires or we feel like we are deserving of. You're hardworking. You do everything the honest way. You're a father. You're a significant other. You got a lot of stuff going on, right? You're doing everything right. So God's got you covered. All that stuff's going to happen. It's all going to come to fruition, right? Yeah. Most definitely. For anybody that's really supporting you, what do you want to say to them right now?
I love y'all. No, for real. Everybody, like, everybody has been, you know, very supportive to the fact of they know that what I have going on, and it's like nobody like discourages me or you know, talk down or be like you can't do it, or well, that's because they know the type of person I am anyway. I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna push the limits, but it's like with them knowing that and then like being there for me, my dad, my mom, my wife, my kids, and just my what do you call it? Not your immediate family, but your
extended family.
Extended family, yeah. All my extended family, like they know, like D.O.L.O is somebody that if we really need him and call on him, he there for us. So we gonna be there for him. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he needs, we gonna try our best. If we can't do it, then okay, we can't do it, bro. But you know, if they can, then they will. You know what I'm saying? And so like they are like, you know, my backbone to keep it going. Cause it's like, I do it for myself, but I really do it to like show everyone else like, bro, we can do what we want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever we want to do, we can do it. So
Absolutely.
It's like, we don't take, no, we don't take limitations. We don't take, none of the negativity. If we really want to set out to do something, then all right, let's sit down and figure out how we're gonna do it. Then
that's right.
They know that's me. I'm every time. You know what I mean? Let's do it. So
you're dropping that wisdom right now. I love it.
Hey man, that's what I just love to. I love to push the vibes, push the energy, and let people know like we only here for a certain amount of time.
That's right.
So why don't waste it? If you want to waste it, all right, go waste it over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We over here trying to figure out what we want to do and how we can get it off so that it's going to stay here and last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
life is short. I had actually seen a video. I can't even remember who it was. It was on Instagram. And in retrospect, when we think about how long we're here, like say, for instance, someone's 75 years old, you're like, dang, 75 years old. But they've only experienced 75 summers on Earth. They've only experienced 75 winters. If you think about it, you think about $75, that don't sound like a lot of money. But if you think about, so you're 75, you're old, but really it's like they've only experienced 75 winters. It's like, wow, if you think about it from that way, it really lets you know how short life is. You know what I'm saying? So we have to absolutely live every moment like as if it's our last, because we don't know when it's going to be our last.
Exactly.
That's crazy, isn't it? Well, I appreciate you being here.
Hey, Tampa, it's always love.
Always a pleasure. Make sure that you guys go get the album. It's out now everywhere.
Go get that.
Don't no skips on it for sure. Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
You can follow me on everything, D.O.L.O_EFMG. Make sure y'all tap in, official EFMG. That's the label page. And make sure y'all check out at Infamous Films too. We got some good recaps on there. I'm gonna try and leave them up for as long as I can until I start refreshing them. But yeah, it's a movement.
It's up, man. Who do you want to shout out to?
Shout out to you, Tampa.
Oh man, appreciate you. Shout out to yourself too.
We always try and tap in and make sure that we it might be some space in between, but the love is always there. I 100%. See you always doing your thing. You hard working with all the artists and all the stuff you bring up here.
Appreciate it.
You a big stamp in the community, so
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We love coming in and tapping in with you. So shout out to Tampa and all her people. Shout out all of EFMG, all my family, everybody that rock with the D.O.L.O movement, man. If you rock with me, I love you.
Last but not least, we live. Big Industry's Most Wanted. Shout out to D.O.L.O checking in. Go ahead and tell everybody what makes you the industry's most wanted.
I'm the industry's most wanted because they can't figure out how I do. You know what I mean? They everywhere trying to see what's going on with D.O.L.O, man. How he do this, how he do that, where he at now, where he at then. So, that's why I'm the industry's most wanted. Straight
like that. Often imitated, but never duplicated.
I don't know.
You did. We up out of here, y'all.
Nah, for real. Yeah, for real. And we doing our thing for real.